Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder. Trick or treat, do you have a penis? It's Zach Elias.
Trick or treat, there was no audio because you fucked the whole thing up.
Booze Your Daddy. For people that are just tuning in right now, if you only knew the last 10 minutes, Zach has the intelligence on a computer as maybe
an ESL.
If you weren't my grandmother, we could have had everything ironed out, Zach.
No way. And I am your grandmother. Where's Tanta?
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. People are listening to these episodes. I want everybody this week to tell one friend, go, hey, there's this thing. It's not good. It's not great, but 30 minutes. Give it a shot.
It is great. They should have told people at the voting place. That place was a feisty group of people that had nothing to do.
I looked into promoting my business. You have to be 40 feet from everything. You can't promote anything within it, even no matter what it is.
Well, this isn't a business because we're not getting paid.
Episode 154, calling this one Dirty Old Ladies.
Bring them on.
Got a couple stories that are going to go well, Zach. But before we get into today's episode, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking for tonight's episode?
I am drinking a Founders All Day IPA, and it's got a nice station wagon with a canoe. It's good for canoeing and other canoeing. There's not really a lot of detail about it.
Well, first, why don't you tell people where it's brewed?
I don't know. It's brewed somewhere, probably Maryland, the Grand Rapids, Michigan.
There it is. Do you know anybody that's been to that brewery this year?
You and your landlord took a trip? Good for you guys.
It was me and Big Mike. We stopped off there on the way back from Dallas Josh's wedding. It was fun. Good.
Did you do a puzzle?
Zach, for today's episode, I just lost a bet, and I am always a man to pay up. Now, I'm going to need a little bit of help because I still don't have a fridge, which it's a whole to-do still.
Warm bullshits.
So what I did was I stopped off at the store, and I got a variety pack of clear bullshits.
You going to mix them?
No. I have 3 different flavors. Sorry. I have 4 different flavors. I need you to help me pick which 3 I'm going to be downing this episode.
Yeah.
So, first choice. This is Bud Light Seltzer Cocktail Hour Lime Margarita.
Yum.
I have Watermelon Mojito.
Ooh.
I have Strawberry Daiquiri. Please pick that one. And the Tropical Punch, which looks like it's absolutely like cough syrup.
That's a must.
All right.
And what was it? The watermelon one? Let me see a watermelon again.
Watermelon Mojito.
That's a must also. Oh, what's the first one? The lime margarita?
Lime Margarita and Strawberry Daiquiri. One of them is going to be better.
No strawberry. There are the other 3.
Newman.
Do I get to pick the order?
Yeah, sure. What?
Closing with the mango.
Close with the... There's no mangoes. Tropical Punch, Mojito, Watermelon.
Close with the orange.
All right. These are going to... All right. Release the Kraken. Oh, they're so cold.
Do you have to drink it like limp wrist around it too? Like you're cupping it?
I don't know why I was doing that.
It was terrible.
Episode 154. You know, Zach, I'm making a big mistake because we've gotten very close that, I do the Roman numerals for the episodes. 154 is CLIV. And if only the number 5 was a T, we could really do something with these Roman numerals.
Ew.
But I've had a bunch of things happen to me in the last couple of weeks that I thought were this is just great material. What are you eating? Are you eating fucking candy? Oh my God. This is like when you did jelly beans. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, Zach, I'm at one of my old ladies' house the other day.
Cats.
And this lady, she's so sweet. And she's such a tiny little thing. And she's asking me all these questions. And I said to her, well, have you always been so petite? And she goes, well, growing up, I just didn't want my sister's leftovers. Lady's 92 years old. And I went, your sisters? Do you mean like your family, like when you eat? She goes, no, I'm talking about the men. I'm like, I wasn't sure where she was going with this, but.
Did you ask a follow-up question? Go on.
No, it's just so, my bit I always had when I was in Manhattan, maybe I said to you, is that this is the most sexist thing I'm ever going to say. Women age so much better than men in your city. Like, it's just, men run a sprint to the marathon men run a sprint to the finish line and they see that thing, they sit and they watch CNBC. Where women run marathons. They finally finish working, they have hobbies. They come into my office 70 years old, they're dating, they're going to museums, they're restaurants, they're doing stuff. Men come in 70, they look like they should be casket shopping.
What? Men have hobbies. Golf's a hobby.
How many Upper West Siders do you think are golfing on the reg?
Fair amount. I golfed the other day.
You live in the Heights, buddy.
I do, and I golfed with a kid who lives in Harlem. My cousin. He's good.
It just boggles me that like these women, they always want to talk about these type of things. And, of course they also have elderly problems where a lot of them here in Jersey have bars in their house. Not a real bar, but they got the Campari and all the bitters and stuff. And I'm walking by this one the other day and I said, "Oh, is it time for happy hour?" She goes, "Happy hour is when I'm able to move my bowels."
Oh, she's got shtick for days. I would park myself. That's a client of the year.
These are different people, Zach. I'm giving you the highlights of these biddies.
This is amazing. How is this not a show? You might just send these like to Jimmy Fallon or something.
This literally is a show. It's what we're doing right now.
We're doing a show, but like they should have a show, like funky old people, like come with a camera or something, like in old days, like a giant ikigami over the shoulder.
One lady today, older white lady who's married to a nice black guy, and of course, like it's relevant to the story, Zach. So she's sitting there talking, and she's telling me how how in some people's houses, people come around and put these things on the doors, and it's like, hey, you needed this, you needed that, and I said, nobody ever.
Here it's just the Chinese menus, but sure.
So I said, do you ever use them? Do you ever order? And she goes, not really. We only ever got Chinese menus like that. And I said, well, did you order from them? She goes, no, but I tell you, growing up, my kids ate Chinese food so much, I can't believe their eyes weren't slanty. Oh!
What do you say to these things? Do you play along? Do you go, yeah, it sounds about right?
I just go, oh my God. Like, you go with it. You don't jump in with like
go with it. Yeah.
You kind of laugh it off. And every now and then somebody will say something. You go, I don't know about that. Snyder inside joke between me and my mother. You can respond to just about anything with, I guess. And it works. No matter what you say, whether you're pro, whether you're against, because it has a sarcastic feel where when I was going to school
I truly hope when I ask if you take Julia to be whatever, you say, I guess.
But you have to do the laugh there. It's so good, Zach, because I was going to this gym and after you
crowd work, by the way.
Oh, you're not doing crowd work at my wedding. And basically any question you say to anybody, you comment, they can say something, you just go, I guess. And it works. It does.
My version of this, whatever gets you there. That's the same thing, I guess. Different.
Yeah, but then you're not agreeing with it because then you're kind of saying like, that's a you thing.
Zoe said that to me one time. Whatever gets you there. Me and Jenna just froze. I think somebody else was there too.
All right, Zach, I got to call you out on this because it's one of my pet peeves. Your daughter just repeats you, and you're making it like she's the most original kid in the world.
She's not original at all, but it's funny out of context when she says it.
So what are we doing about this hairdryer? Like, it's you. It's just you.
It is me. But I didn't see it coming. I never see it coming. So when I see her, I see little Jenna. I don't want to see my little mini me, a little like ventriloquist dummy sitting on my lap.
She is you. You could
I'm
have
aware.
her.
We're all aware. God. We got emails home about it.
Speaking of last old ladies that I had that came in today, I had the nicest lady that I was working with today who all she wanted to talk about was smoking meats.
Go on.
That's the pun, but I never thought I would have this lady who's close to Medicare age who just was obsessed with barbecue. In a million years, I never thought.
You got a few more good years left. Eat what you want.
I couldn't believe that. It didn't fit. It didn't like pace with who exactly I thought this. I mean, maybe I'm judging, of course.
Very judgy. Very judgy doctor. Ish.
Last patient story that I've been writing down for weeks was I have this nice lady I'm working with right now, and we started talking about something, and you know what? I'm a little extra. Would you agree?
At times.
And we start talking, and I mentioned
Molly calls you my sassy friend.
when are we getting her on?
Whatever you want. Oh, you can get her on, get her off, whatever you want.
Set up next week?
Sure, I suppose. What she's doing? She's got anything better to do?
So my lady the other day turns to me.
Wait, when's that guy coming on?
I forgot. I got actually was thinking about reaching.
Get him on first. Molly's was around.
I'm Derek.
Yeah, get Derek on. We'll get the two of them on. We can do a
Foursome?
Family Feud
No.
style.
No, because then we do one of those Brady Bunch look up,
Yeah.
oh. So
Circle,
my
get the square.
now I've been working with this lady for a couple of weeks. People started admitting stuff. She turns to me, she goes, "Can I just tell you something?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "When I first met you, I thought you were gay." I was like, "What?" She goes, I was just thinking just the way you act, the
Now
way
is she
you
certain of it though?
she goes, "But then I realized you don't dress nice enough." And I was like,
Oh,
"What a
what
fucking
a
asshole."
backhand! What? It's even worse. Classic.
I couldn't believe it, Zach. I was like,
What
"Oh,
a backhanded taking it back.
yeah." It was like, "Oh, here's a nice thing." It's like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah. You're just
So,
like a schlub that means you're straight. God.
I'm
Is that why
struggling.
you're wearing your Tep shirt?
You like that?
True. And if you think so.
It was the next thing up. It was one of
I
those.
got plenty of pie gear in there.
So as we had this bet, Zach, about the
How are
Phillies,
those?
horrible. This isn't great. They all taste the same. It's all
It's,
there's. It's like they put a drop of, you know,
it's like, what was that? Mio water.
exactly.
With the alcohol. Yeah.
God. So
It's just cancer.
I give zero fucks for soccer, but the World Cup is pretty dope. Now,
All right.
here's my proposal because I'd like to get some revenge on this bet that I'm struggling with.
I get the field. You get one team. You
No,
get
no, no.
US?
I'm thinking off air. Why don't we'll do like a draft, first pick, second two, go back and forth, pick
Ooh.
all the teams, whoever wins. Fair?
Yeah.
Good? In?
Yeah.
3 clear bullshits?
I believe that we will win.
Today I had to get something notarized, which is
Did you go to Eric? I did that once.
Eric is a notary?
He is.
Oh my god, I didn't know. No way he would have brought his thing down when he came here, right?
He might have brought a stamp. I don't know his thing.
I go to a place, I go to the UPS store, and there's 2 little nobodies working there. And I come in and say, "Hi, I wait in line."
Nobody. He might have hobbies and a cat. I don't know.
Oh, I'll get there. So I wait in line, finally get to the front. I said, "Hi, I need to get something notarized." They go, just stand over there." I'd already been in line for 10 minutes. I go stand over to the side. The guy goes in the back, comes out. "He'll be out with you with just 1 minute, sir." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, I wait for another 10 minutes. Finally, this kid comes out, and I got such a contact high off of his sweatshirt. I'm sitting there like, okay. And he starts. There's the notary who's giving this like very serious, like, no, I need to make sure he's looking at my ID. I'm thinking he must be seeing 4 of me on this ID. This guy smelled like Cheech and Chong. I couldn't believe this. And sure enough, some lady in line is giving away candy, a bag of candy.
Oh,
She's
he
like,
must have just stuck.
"So, does anybody want this candy?" And then one guy goes, "Yeah, we'll take it." The first guy reaches in, one of the nobodies who was working, sees a bag of Reese's and goes, "Reese's, these are mine." And another one of these guys who goes, "You're sharing that with everybody." He goes, "No, I'm not." He goes, "You're not going to be able to go out back with me and Nando anymore." Like, I'm sitting here doing the like,
how are you not dying? I would have. See, that's the thing you and I.
because I needed the notary. I had to be serious.
I would have gone to the bank next door. I would have absolutely gotten involved. And there's a world where I'm out there with Nando. Like 100%, there's a world where I'm getting stoned with Nando and Cheech. Like,
but the weird part is I have to be serious about this whole thing. And then I also didn't know nobody's wearing name tags. They had like the official shirt where
you can tell which one is Nando.
So as I let my notary guy do the thing, and at the end I do like "Hey man, thank you really much. What was your name, notary guy?" He goes, "It's Fernando." And I was like, "Yeah, sure it is."
Yeah, there was something in the air.
I have no idea what you were doing.
It's Fernando. It's like the ABBA song. What's wrong with you?
Fernando.
There it is. Yeah, getting stoned with Nando. Never gonna hear that now. You're gonna think of it.
God.
Yeah, anyway, that's pretty good. So how did you not absolutely take the, you know what, I'm in.
First off, it was 9:30, so there was no like, "Let me jump in there, bucko."
No, it's always let me jump in there, bucko. I am such a sucker for weirdos and like weird conversation. I'm a big, all right, you got me. Let's go.
What do you say?
You got me. I need the story.
Swag or kind, bud? What story? They work at UPS. That's why they're nobodies.
Yeah, I would absolutely be getting stoned with them. Like, you know what? What makes this happen?
At 9:00 in the morning on a Tuesday?
Sure.
Fuck out of here.
I mean, you don't have a job. What do you have to do? You can't do your job stoned?
I worked way too hard. I'd never do my job even remotely intoxicated.
The question. You just wouldn't. Can you do your job stoned?
You can do any job, anything, Jack. Back.
exactly.
Zachy, I got a lot of Pishadoo stuff. What do you got for me?
A
Let me get,
nurse in
let me
Wisconsin.
guess. Slow week. The week snuck up on you.
A nurse in Wisconsin. This will sneak up on you. Actually, this might be the best one. Powerball being delayed really pissed me off.
That was my sign off for today.
I'm seething because I got my tickets in there. I still don't know if I won anything. I didn't win the whole thing. That Pishadoo in California won the whole big one, but I might
Oh,
have won.
oh, they named a winner.
One guy or girl.
Here's my gripe with the Powerball. When the hell did it become 3 times a week?
That's your gripe?
When did it become more chances to win? Yeah, that's really what's going to affect.
Yeah, I have no idea.
How many tickets did you buy?
I bought 5 for $2 each because Eric told me to buy 10 because he's a baller. And then Shackman walks up and goes, 1. He gives him $2. I hope he won something.
I also only do 1, but you're like 1 in 300 million. In theory, shouldn't you buy 1 ticket per every 300 million? Just like natural odds type of thing?
Yes. So perhaps.
It's just a thought. I'm the asshole that always buys 1, except the last time I went to the store, I was like, yep, give me, I put 2 fingers up because it's $2, and the guy printed me out one with 4. I was like, oh, okay, all right, here, take my, you got me. But then in my head, I'm already doing maybe that'll be the one that wins, right? Because it was the extra one.
Yeah, that worked out for you.
It wasn't at all. So what was this Wisconsin nurse?
We'll get to her in a second. There was a player, I know you love soccer. Nope. There was a soccer player who, like, in all of this MLS Cup, he was being interviewed. Did you see this? This guy's name is Acosta something. And they're saying, man, it must be crazy to be in Philadelphia right now with you guys in the semifinals and the Phillies and the Eagles being undefeated. How is it in Philly? He goes, I play for LA. And the guy was just dying. He had no idea. It was hysterical.
That's pretty good.
He had all these questions about Philly for a guy who plays for the Galaxy. That was good. A nurse in Wisconsin apparently amputated a guy's foot.
Happens.
In a nursing home. Yes, it does. Except he was sort of still alive, and she did it to put in the window of her family's taxidermy store to warn kids as prop comedy about wearing boots in the winter.
Should have called a tax attorney.
Well, yeah, that really happened.
Wait, when you say he was still alive, she thought he was dead?
I didn't pay for the Washington Post, so I didn't get the full bit. I got enough to know how it went down, but not the glory details. Yeah, exactly. And I waited forever to vote today, and I did vote. You know what really bothers me most about voting?
The stickers?
Yes! The stickers! Oh. Grown-ups who wear a sticker for any. I gave blood. Be nice to me. I got a shot in the arm. I voted. You're an adult. Zoe wears stickers.
Here's my problem. It's such
a work all day? Cool.
It's virtue signaling. It's basically saying, I did this. I'd appreciate it more if it was more like, I voted blue, I voted red. Like, say who you're voting for.
That's the same thing. You should say who you got.
Yeah, and then who you got. Something. I'm definitely more for that.
The name. Hello, I voted for.
Zach,
we need Inigo Montoya. I voted for this guy.
That's good. We need to follow up on that porn guy, the one in New York who made the porn tape. I bet you he gets like 4% of the vote. Doesn't even come close.
Is he on my ballot?
Do you remember we talked about this in last week?
Name.
Who knows his name?
I voted for some. If I did, I absolutely would have voted for him. I don't care. I would have voted for him. 100% I would have voted. I forgot his name.
All right, Zachy, I got some candidates for
Pishadoo. Sorry, you're illegal. You can't vote in your state, but
Pishadoo of the week. Some of these could win on any given week. I heard about this today. I'm calling this the Korean dog scandal. Here's the bits and pieces that I got. Years ago, North Korean leader, one of them, Uns, gave South Korean leader 2 hunting dogs as like a sign of peace and sign of whatever. Cool. Well, that guy has since aged out of his presidency, and he is now doing whatever. And the new leader is going, you don't get these dogs, even though you've owned them for the last X amount of years. Now, of course, the obvious joke here is a bunch of Koreans arguing over dogs. You're immediately going,
usually that's not what they do with dogs. I thought it was going a much different place.
Oh, yeah. So the old leader is going, fine then, if they're members of the state, or he said something like, I can't afford to take care of them. I need the state to pay for the upkeep of these dogs. This whole story is so good about these 2 South Korean leaders arguing about who owns the dogs, who should pay for them. It is blasphemy. This is why you eat dogs.
It's the seating group we got there. Next candidate.
of course, Zach, we do our episode last week on a Wednesday. And then what happens? But the Phillies got how many hits that night?
None.
Not a one. And who could be blamed from it other than Wawa?
Go
They
on.
they tweeted at 7 o'clock before the game started. Each time they get a hit, take a bite of your hoagie. Hashtag Swerberfest.
Good. I think the Philly, they could use to lose a little weight.
Next candidate. I think we maybe talked about this over text, but everything with Kyrie, he wasn't backing down at all.
Idiot.
And then they really hit him where it counts. They took his basketball away, and he has just apologized for everything.
Yeah, he had to go meet with Adam Silver, the big Jew of the league.
They suspended him for 5 games, and he was just like, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What a bitch. What a bitch. He was like, I don't give a shit. You can take away as much money as you want. I don't care if people think of me. They suspended him for the money wasn't the problem. They suspended him for 5 games, and that's when he finally booked it. Like, get out of here.
The guy who suspended himself for almost the entire season last year because he wouldn't get a needle in his arm or a sticker.
Terry Bradshaw.
Vaccinated. Look at my sticker.
You see Bradshaw?
What?
You see Terry Bradshaw, what he said?
No.
I forget who he's talking about. Maybe Kyler Murray. But he went on a rant the other day on one of the pregame shows or in between where he said something like, or maybe it was Justin Fields, about, getting in there and running a play and throwing the ball. He'd rather commit suicide than doing that.
Oh.
They're like, can't say that on television, buddy.
Can't do that on television. Hey, Alanis.
So, I saw Dice last week.
Yeah, how'd that go? I didn't get there.
Nostalgic. Like, it was one of those I would never go again. You know how Mick Jagger's still up there like an asshole and he's singing all the songs and you're like, that's somebody's grandfather? Dice is up there. His arms are fat. He hit some of the highlights. You could write all the jokes.
He was always fat, though.
Nah, but he used to have, like, the shirt, the rhinestones. It's just, his hair is completely white. And it's just like, it's trying too hard.
Jet black, or he's owning it?
No, he's owning the white. But he still does the whole shtick. Like, I would probably never go see him again. But that day...
He's got to be in his 60s.
Yeah, I think he's up there, like 64,
Those are a lot of sex jokes.
I tell my mom I'm going to see Andrew Dice Clay tonight. And she goes, oh, my God, I've always wanted to see him. He's the Phantom of the Opera guy, right?
Absolutely.
I said, that's Andrew Lloyd Webber. My mom's like, oh. I mean, first, she leaned into it, Zach. She was like, oh, yeah, Andrew, that sounds really great.
He would be amazing in Phantom.
Oh, the music of the night. Oh.
It was so... How has someone ever made that? Like, comedians, like, just doing Broadway. Just one show with a bunch of idiots. Incredible.
I don't think they have the discipline for it.
Just one night, like, live for cameras. Like, no.
How big of what type of person do you need to do that? Like, you would need stars.
All C-listers, but a lot of them. Andy Dick would do it.
Speaking of C-listers, you see your girl Kathy Griffin got in trouble again?
That's not trouble. She's a loophole. She used her mom's account, her dead mom's account. Good for her.
But the best part was Elon going at her and going, she can have her Twitter back for $8.
Yes.
That's such a great troll.
So good. You know what? Put her in Phantom. She would do it. Yeah,
all right.
Those people that are just like, Celebrity Apprentice level.
Giants safety. Somebody, Kinney, I don't know the Giants very well. Injured himself in the bye week on an ATV and is going to miss like a month.
Yeah, full Bumgardner.
Right. My first thought is, what an asshole. But then there was an update of the story where Giants fans are supposed to come at it like, we have a chance this year. We're this. The Giants fans are like, we wish you get well. Thanks for being you. That's the real Pishadoo in the story. The fans that, yeah, right?
They should be all over him, ripping his head off.
That's how I feel.
Real fans, like the old days.
So you want
maniacs. Now
put them in a bubble, right, during the season?
What?
Put your guys in a bubble or no?
Or they sign a contract stating you can't do anything that's this stupid or else you get fined or you suspended.
It's not the money. It's the concept for me is that I'm a fan of this team it's like you just said, like, would you get high before work? Like, no, I'm not doing that while I'm working. No.
Have you seen Tracy McGrady?
He was so good for so many years.
Oh, so stoned.
He was so good.
He was so good.
So good. All right. So at Dice, I bought the tickets on StubHub. I got them sent to my phone. Cool screenshot. Go to the thing. I'm with New Ron. We go to walk in. The lady takes the thing and goes, beep, beep,
Oh.
So, she goes, do you have the original tickets? I'm like, no, I took a screenshot. She goes, oh, that doesn't work anymore.
No, it doesn't. The Jets told me that.
You know this?
I know that. I'm a Jets season ticket holder. They
Right.
won't let you do that shit anymore. Although
So
it sort of works. It
I had to
works
go to the box office and log in and look. They
so
basically, the lady at the box office turns. I said, what are my options? She goes, well, you can buy new tickets. So that, no,
double down on dice. A good seat still available. 4 minutes before curtain.
Yeah, we were late we were like 2 or 3 minutes late to get in there. I was like, and Neuron also is going, this is horseshit. Like who doesn't take a, I've done it a million times.
You just put them in your Apple wallet. It's done and done.
What's an Apple Wallet?
Exactly. You have an iPhone. You don't have one of those Fleischer phones.
Fleischer phone. Sounds so
good. Break a 5.
All right, this is one of my favorites. It's not going to win, but we talked about politics, and Dr. Oz still going hard in the paint.
He's getting rocked.
Yeah, he has no chance. And I think this is where, because in Pennsylvania, you have 2 big areas, right? You got to win Pittsburgh and you got to win Philly.
The other guy was wearing shorts today. That's your guy. That's your governor.
Have you seen the other guy? The other guy
is getting progressively worse.
It's not great. But I really think where Oz lost this election.
It's a little bit like somebody in your extended family.
Horrible. I'm editing him out.
I'm not saying. I'm just
terrible. I'm not even going with this. So the best was John Fetterman retweeted it. So Oz is standing there at the podium with MAGA himself, Trump behind him. Oz, and I quote, tomorrow morning, this is on Saturday, I want you to contact 10 people. Do it before the Steelers game, because in Pittsburgh, they're all about the Steelers.
Yeah.
Little problem. Steelers weren't playing this past week. They had a bye week.
Classic.
It's just another out of touch. Like, come on, man. Like, if you want to appeal to that, the best was Fetterman retweeting it was my favorite. But candidate number 9. I know you and I have talked about the toothpaste chicken and how that all works.
Getting down to the wire in there this week.
Nothing worse in any house when you wake up in the morning, Greenwich Standard Time, go into the bathroom, do your thing, look over, and the last person who used the TP used the whole thing and didn't replace it. My landlord is the Pishadoo of the week.
Your landlord. Okay, isn't it in your lease that they're supposed to have certain standards?
Now, there is more TP, but it's about like 4 little waddles forward and reaching over to the side. And you know what I'm talking about. Because you do a little scrunchy scrunch.
You come out like Bald Bull in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Yeah, there's that.
Zach, I don't care. And you know what? You know what her excuse was? There was 1 sheet left.
She stared a square.
1 sheet?
She stared to a square. How do you not check ahead of time?
Zach, seconds, not minutes in the morning. I'm in bed and we're running there, buddy.
Seconds, not minutes. It's true. We've all been there.
That might be the funniest original thing you've ever said.
Oh, it was brutal.
It was really good.
I wanted to buy a car, or at least a burrito.
Put a quarter, win a car. Put a quarter, win a car.
Yeah, I'd have put something else to win a car.
Korean dog scandal. Wawa wants you to get some hits, Phillies. Kyrie took his ball away. Terry Bradshaw, suicide. My mother, Andrew, Dice Weber.
Excellent.
Giants safety ATV, but the fan said it was okay. Ticketmaster will not let you scan them. Steelers, go Steelers on a bye week. And the TP running out and my landlord not refilling it.
I hate it. I can't double down on her. I gotta say, honestly, as stupid as this is going to be, it's Dr. Oz. You make a comment, you should know the shot before you take it. That's really, really bad to me.
What are the final numbers? All right, I don't know anything. I'm going to say there's no way he gets 40%, right? Like less than 40?
He's a bum. He's a joke. They're currently in New Hampshire with some, Aryan broad who looks like she's winning.
Do you know what I had on my list, but I took it off because I didn't think he made his bones on Oprah, right?
Yeah, the nurse who cut his foot off.
Oprah came out and endorsed the other guy.
Yeah. He's an idiot. Is he even a good doctor? As a bad doctor? You
don't know how good of a doctor. You think I'm a great doctor. I don't know.
A good doctor.
I don't know about his actual doctoring, but my actual landlord where my business is got a surgery from him. They say he did great work, but couldn't have given two shits as far as a bedside manner. They say he was not nice.
Really?
Yeah, the guy's got money. It was just like, yeah, he's not
Comes
good.
off as charming. What was the surgery? What does he do?
I don't ask questions. I just went, okay, I
You
guess.
vasectomy. Like, what does he do?
I assume it was something internal. I think he's an internist or something, right?
I don't know. I don't know what he does.
Train sponsor?
Probably. That's what we do.
Zach, life has been busy in the Snuggy household. I have a little bit of trivia. This is going to be one of those. I think it's a swing and a miss, but I figure why not? I teased this last week. We didn't get to this.
Oh,
So,
Allison, Mrs. Punctual over there.
Allison, she had the bed to herself last night. First time in a long time.
Really? She light the candles?
Zach, I didn't know that there's a stigma with old people using emojis. They put out a list. What?
There's a stigma of old people using emojis. Watch, they can use the blackface.
As
Emoji?
far as like old people use like 10 emojis. I didn't know this was a thing. The weird part was I use some of these kind of regularly. So what I thought I'd do today is
Peach.
there's 10 emojis that apparently is like just the oldest person ever that do this. I'm going to give you 5 X's. Go ahead and take your phone out. And I want you to look and see the emojis that you use the most. How many of these emojis do you think you could get?
Wait, the ones I use the most or the ones an old person's going to use?
You know what? Let's go through you first.
I mean, I use the smile face.
The smile face. Smile is not
Yeah.
on there. Not
No.
on there. X.
That I use?
Go ahead.
I'm a maniac because I only text this Jenna. So I got to use 3 that count as one.
Okay.
The pig snout, the pig face, and the walking pig. That's one.
You text that to your wife?
We have a pig inside joke. You know this.
You call her a pig? Where are we going with
Yeah.
this?
No, not that. We have a thing where every time you have to get a pig card and she has pig things that are.
All right, keep going. Keep going.
There's another inside joke with camels, but the eye roll emoji that I use a lot. Though.
Not on the list, although I use that a lot too.
The crying laughy thing.
Crying laughing is number 6.
Okay, I use the wink.
I use the wink a lot too. Not on there.
The fire emoji. I think it's just fire.
Fire's great. Not on there.
Okay, the red face. The
no.
The middle finger. I use the thumbs up. I use a lot.
Thumbs up, number 1, Zach.
Really?
No, so this whole article was all about people who give the thumbs up are old people.
Okay.
Which
And,
I also do thumbs
And there's
up.
always the eggplant.
You think old people use that?
I think they do. You into the villages? They're stooping like you wouldn't believe. How many is that? I've lost count.
You got 2 are on the list is what you hit.
But how many more do I have?
I don't know. Give me another 8. Let's see if you can guess a couple.
Now, I use the middle finger often, and
You mentioned that already. You have
sometimes
dementia.
the Italian.
I think that's a newer one.
Okay. I gotta think they use one of the the hearty ones with the hearts.
Number 2 is the heart.
Okay. The actual heart or the face with the hearts?
The actual heart.
Oh, I didn't use that. Maybe the Groucho or Hitler.
No.
No. Okay. What else do we think? The sticking the tongue out. The funny part is I'm doing them.
You doing these faces. Well, this is the old Eli Manning sketch on SNL. Do you remember that where he was on stand and he's like, "And Mister, what did you emoji?" He's like, "I gave her the face." Do you know this? That was very funny. That's what was funny. All right, Zach. Dead air here.
Duty.
Duty was number 5. The poop, which is it's chocolate ice cream and not Duty, right?
It's Duty. Because there's no vanilla ice cream, so it's Duty.
You're missing one that's like pretty obvious that everybody always does.
The devil horns that rock out. What the cover the eyes?
The monkey covering the eyes I get that a lot.
I never get that, although I saw it on some guy's jersey yesterday.
And
the applause?
The applause. Clap, clap, clap. I do that a lot.
Oh,
I say that a lot because somebody will say something and you just want to go.
The Hoosiers?
The what?
The Hoosiers?
The Hoosiers. What is Allison's texting emojis right now?
Allison's texting emoji. Your uncle loves that one? Ew.
My Uncle Steven texts that a lot. That's like his go-to. He used to think LOL meant love you lots, which doesn't make sense.
It might in his house.
Grimacing face, kiss mark, clap hands, monkey eye cover, loudly crying face, poo, check mark, okay, red heart, thumbs up.
Huh. So they don't do like the guy in the Cossack hat?
Huh? I can't see
It
anything.
doesn't. It
A
doesn't
Cossack
matter.
hat.
Yeah. Or the turban. Old people don't use the burqa.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Zach still on emojis. We had a fun one tonight. This was a little different, but I'm glad we did it.
Emojiing.
Zach,
Allison shrugging. Thanks.
Zach, I'm roasting this guy this upcoming weekend. I got a joke. I'm not sure if it's original. You ready for it?
You're going to the roast? It's happening? You got
It's
called?
happening. I'm roasting the guy.
How'd
Yeah.
you not call me for this?
Because you're as reliable as the weather. You ready? Mike is so disgusting with his shirt off, he has to pretend he's somebody else during sex.
That's a Rodney joke.
Is it?
Pretty much.
We out.
Yeah.